I'm happy. I'm happy with the interior. Actually, this is a pretty good look here. We're getting good light on it. I think I'm happy with what the interior is. You can obviously let me know down in the description. Welcome back to the workbench, where we try to make things. And what we're trying to make right now is Revell's 1971 Mach 1 Mustang. And this is for the Blue Ox Model Shop Street Machine group build. And we're making pretty good progress. And I made, I think, full progress on the interior. I think the interior is now complete. So what I think we'll do, we'll take a quick look at it, and then we'll look at some of the other things I was able to get done in between episodes. But I've got it in the body so we can kind of see what it's going to look like installed, fully installed. And I mean, there's only really one thing I was working on, and that was this back package tray where we're putting the stereo in. So hopefully you guys can kind of see, we've got the amps in, got the speakers in, got them all wired up, and you can see they're in like a perfect location to me behind, under this kind of fastback glass that's on these Mach 1s. You see right in there. I mean, honestly, if I owned a Mach 1 and I wanted to put like a stereo in it, this is just the perfect location for it. I think it looks really, really good. Let me go ahead and pull it out and we'll get a closer look at exactly what we did here. If I can get it out of here very carefully. Come on. It's the interior tub is much more difficult to get out now because it has the interior, or the inner fender wells. I've got it stuck. Okay, let's just spread the body part. There we go. Oh, I'm trying to be so careful. Okay, hopefully nothing fell apart. I'm gonna bring it down below here and hopefully we can get a little better look. So we've got the 2 amps. I've got them fully wired up. I was able to do power, ground, and speaker wire. And I also did end up painting some of this 32 gauge wire blue. And then the blue, well, you can't even, they're there because of the blue. You can't even see them. It just molds right, or, camouflages right in with the black, but trust me, they're there. And then I wired the speakers up using, I should back up. I went back to Hobby Lobby and basically bought all the different beading wires they have. So let's just take a quick look real quick. So they actually have, just for your information, obviously the 20 gauge like we had yesterday. They also have 24, 26, and I think this is 28, and 28 gauge. These they have, and then all the way up to also obviously the 32 gauge, which they have in silver and gold. But what they also have is these multi-packs, and this is 26 gauge, which within the multi-pack, in fact, let me bring all of it over so you can kind of see the different colors. So they have these multi-packs where they have red, pink, purple, green, black, copper, gold, and yellow, I guess we'll call these colors down here. All 26 gauge. They also have this in the same pack in 22 gauge, if that's something you'd be interested in. But what they did have, and that I used, was the blue. And I just wanted to use a color for speaker wire, and that's what I used to wire up the speakers here. So we've got, we're pretending like, so these little speakers were dual voice coil. There was 2 sets of terminals on them that were printed into them, which I painted up gold. I don't know if you can even see it, but I painted the terminals gold. And then I wired it. I just assume it was a dual 4-ohm voice coil speakers, or they were speakers. So I wired them up parallel here. So we have, I don't know, we'll say this is positive coming in, then we have negative to positive and positive to negative, and then negative coming out. Now we got our 1 ohm load go into our amp and getting us whatever gabillions of watts that'll get us, and most likely burning it down at some point. But I thought that looked, it looked the best to go, or what's the right way? It looked the most scale, because generally that's right why you would run a two voice coil speaker, is so you can wire them in such a way to get the ohm load or the resistance on those voice coils down to drive an amp harder, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. If you've been in the stereo world, you do crazy things. It's kind of like, running the biggest cam you can and whatever in the motor, to get the most out of an engine, or big turbos or whatever. That's what you're kind of doing. Anyways, so I wanted to simulate that, and I think it looks better too to have those wires that loop around the baskets of the speakers, and then I don't know. I think it looks pretty good, and I'm happy. I'm happy with the interior. Actually, this is a pretty good look here. We're getting good light on it. I think I'm happy with what the interior is. You can obviously let me know down in the description. What do you think? Is there something that you would add? I think, unless a bunch of people start commenting otherwise, I think I'm leaving the speaker pods out of the rear doors. Not rear doors, but rear panels back here. What do we call these? Side panels here on the interior. I think I'm just going to leave them nice and smooth and clean. I think like what I said last time, it's that kind of detail there would be taking away, not adding to. So I think I'm going to just leave it as is. Yeah, and so I think we're good on the interior. Like I said, let me know what you think, and I'll definitely read your comments for sure. As far as the motor goes, I was able to go ahead and get in. Well, before we even talk about that, I dirtied it up just a little bit, just enough to take the sheen off. I don't even know if you can tell, but I kind of darkened in between the runners of the intake, and just a little smudge here and there, just to take the sheen off it. I want this car to be used. What was the way I said it before? I want it to be clean but not pristine, if that makes sense. So it's a really nice car that gets driven. And that's kind of what a street machine is. It's a driven show car, kind of. I don't know, at least in my mind, my brain, that's kind of what it means, or what it is. It's a really nice car that you like to cruise around and take to shows and all that. Anyways, so dirtied it up. I was able to get the lower radiator hose in. So I needed to go ahead and put in the lower radiator hose because we're going to have that in when we install it, because there is no way that I'm going to be able to get to that hose after installed to get it connected to the water pump. So I went ahead and installed it now. I have the line for it. I have a little fitting that kind of cleans it up on the end there. I think that looks pretty nice. Now, with that said, I don't have an upper radiator hose. They've been sold out, the size. I mean, obviously, I could use the same as the lower radiator hose, but that upper radiator hose is usually a little bigger, and I don't have the size, I don't have the size for it, and it's been sold out everywhere I can find, unless I can find... But basically, I can find the hose in some places, but not. Well, I take that back. I can't find the fittings. So the hose is going to. I'll use this to point. The hose needs to attach here on this intake. There's kind of like a little thermostat housing here, so it needs to attach here, and I want to have some kind of fitting to go there to kind of clean that up. And I can't find the fittings are sold out. So fittings sold out everywhere. I can find the hose. Maybe I should go ahead and order the hose just to have it before it sells out. But anyways, it kind of doesn't matter, because the upper radiator hose we can put in at any time. I can literally have this car totally completed, and I can still get to the upper radiator hose. So that can kind of go in at any time. So I'm not sweating it right now. I'll keep my eye out. Once it comes back in stock, we'll order one up. But the old parts department here at TCTV. Well, they did it again. So I started building the plug wires, which are actually looking very good. I got my 90-degree plug-ins. I went ahead and just cut full lengths of wires. Obviously, these will get cut down to different lengths. I need 8 more plug-ins. So when the ordering was done, I am definitely... We are having a sit down with the parts department here at the Tandem C Television. Because there's 2 ends to a plug wire. I need the cap end and the block end. Now, I thought maybe, and for you guys that don't know, the parts department here at TCTV is me. It's me. I forgot to order. I should have. I don't know why I didn't order 2 sets. I just said, 90-degree plug ends ordered. Okay, good. Oh no, you need at least 16 of them. But anyways. I've thought about just putting this end in like so, and then just kind of fake, but I don't know. I think, because I've thought about maybe doing the same on this end, but this is going to make it so much easier if I have the plug in. I just need to order plug-ins, do it right. I need to do it right, so I've got to order those. It doesn't matter, because I need to order a battery too. So with the stereo in here, there's no way we're going to run a stock battery. I need to order up. They make the little printed Optima batteries, and plus I need to get. I do have. I think I don't have it on me, but I do have battery cable. I also obviously have the power wire that we were using for the amps. So I need to get cable ends also that I can put, because I need to run the regular cables, the regular, power wire, like to the starter and all that. But I also have to run the wire out of those ends to, I don't know, I wonder if I can find, because they really need to go to like a fuse block, some kind of fuse block, and then into the firewall, and then we'll pretend like they're under carpet and whatever. But I need those, like they're running back to these amps, so I've got to do all that. But the point being is I need to order a battery, so there's probably a bunch more parts I still need to order, which I thought all the parts were, it is what it is. I thought we had all the parts, but here we are. But anyways, before this video gets too long and I ramble too much, that's where we're at. Interior is done. I don't think there's any more that I need. I can literally set it aside and I think call it done. I've got to get, gosh dang, I've got to get these other plug wire ends. You know what I've got to get is a resin printer. This would be a heck of a lot easier if I could just walk over somewhere. I've got a 3D printer, but it's a PLA printer and it's old. I mean, it's old. It's probably 8 years old, and I can't print this fine a detail with it. I've got to get it. I've got to get a resin printer. I mean, at the end of the day, instead of ordering all this stuff, I could just be printing all this stuff. Printing it at need. I'm sure you can find these STL files and whatnot. But anyways, let me know what you think. I've got to get more parts in. I'm trying to decide if I can get these wires. I'm going to take a closer look. Can I get the plug wires in with the motor installed? And the answer, I think, is absolutely no. So we've got to wait on plug wires, or plug wire ends, boots. There we go, plug boots, before we can get the motor finished and installed. So that's on a hold. So I'll see what else I can do in between episodes. I don't really want to paint the body. I'm sure there's other things I can do. Well, that's what we'll work on. You know what we can really do is start detailing the bottom of the. That's what I'm gonna do tonight. I'm gonna start detailing the bottom of the chassis, so this will be ready to go once those come in, and we can keep rolling. So that's what I'll do in between episodes. Let me know what you think down in the description. Do you have any ideas? What good, bad? What do you think so far? I think the interior, I think it's looking pretty good. Let me know what you think down in the description. If this is something you enjoy, hit the subscribe button. Hit that follow button, ring the bell. I don't know, what all kinds of buttons do y'all have these days? I don't know. The like button? I don't know. Do all those things you do on YouTube. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.